So in this second part of J.J. Abrams' Star Wars trilogy, Chris Pine, known for his work in the last Star Trek movie, teams up again with poster child for the beaten horse, Siler. RoboCop assigns them a task to track down supervillain Sherlock Holmes.
So yeah, we saw Star Trek Into Darkness. I'm Brandon Kaiser.
I'm winner of Best Josh of the Year, Josh Jessen.
I'm Kit Coleman Cole.
So yeah, we saw Star Trek Into Darkness today. It is directed by J.J. Abrams. May have heard of him. It's kind of a big deal.
He did Alias, I believe.
He did do Alias and Felicity. Let's not forget Felicity, guys.
Well, I used to not watch Felicity regularly.
So well, right?
I thought you were about to say masturbated too.
I thought about that.
I got
that
that
would've been
weirded out
weird.
too.
Yeah,
Didn't know where this was going. But anyways, it stars Chris Pine.
Only when she shaved her head.
It stars the aforementioned Chris Pine.
No.
Can I
Yes,
can I introduce the movie? Okay.
It
stars Chris Pine. It does star
Jinx,
Chris Pine.
stuck on it.
You suck. It also stars Zachary Quinto, Benedict Cumberbatch, I had to say it that way, sorry. Carl Urban, Zoe Saldana, Simon Pegg, John Cho, Anton Yelchin, Alice Eve, and Peter Weller. Mostly the same cast as last time, aside from a couple differences.
Peter Weller.
Peter Weller
Benedict
and
Cumberbatch.
Alice Eve wasn't in it, and the Batch was not in it.
So
We're not
I
calling
know,
him
we
Batch.
shouldn't call him the Batch.
I call him the
I
Batch.
Don't worry, I'm not.
I'm gonna try not to. So, anyways. So, yeah. You want me to go first?
As long as I don't get last.
I'll end up.
I guess I'll go first because I'm the kind of outsider in this group because I have not seen a whole lot of Star Trek. So, I will talk about the movie first.
Do it.
Okay, I really liked it. I think this has now surpassed Iron Man 3 as the best movie of the year.
I'm mouthing wow.
Okay.
For the benefit of the
For the audio listeners. I thought just about every part of this movie was top notch. The special effects, the score, the acting, the script, the story, everything worked together extremely well to me. I don't really have too many complaints for the movie, really. There are a couple things that happen, a couple twists and stuff. Some of them kind of were seen coming, kind of them, some of them maybe not. I thought that there were a couple emotional moments. Gave me the feels.
I got the feels at least once.
And yeah, that's probably mostly thanks to Michael Giacchino, who did the music for Lost and a bunch of other stuff. So
did
he's
the
good at
story
that
give
sort
you
of
the
thing.
feels?
I partially probably. I mean, yes, what happened kind of gave me the feels, but the score didn't hurt any. So yeah, I thought it was really good. I thought this is a pretty good, probably look at what we can expect somewhat for Star Wars in a couple of years. It is sci-fi, it is big budget, it is J.J. Abrams, so
It's probably a strong that this is.
yeah, we'll probably get something along these lines, which I'm happy for. I think it's evident that it's his trying to Star Wars-ify Star Trek, which, as not someone who saw a ton of original Star Trek, is kind of okay with me, because he leaves enough elements into me for what I know Star Trek to be that I'm okay with it. You may differ. We'll let you go in a minute, but I think it's good. I think everyone should go see this. I think this is a good start of sci-fi summer, or the year of sci-fi, or whatever. I mean, Oblivion was good, but this is a lot better. And
I completely forgot about Oblivion.
yeah, see, you thought it was the first big sci-fi movie too.
And I completely forgot about it.
All right, what's Oblivion?
No, literally, I forgot we saw it until you mentioned it again right now.
Cool. So yeah, I thought
You're doing your job, Whiskey.
probably the scene stealer is Benedict Cumberbatch, which was kind of assumed going in that he was gonna rock socks, and he did. And yeah, it's good to see. Good to see him breaking out now and becoming a big star, hopefully, so we can see him in other stuff.
English star with spot of tea and roll chip chip cheerio and Bob's your uncle.
Well, we're all big fans of Sherlock, so we all.
I just wanted to work Bob's your uncle. And
We all
hear
knew he was
something.
awesome. We didn't have to go on English-speaking tangents to say it, but yeah,
We don't all have to.
We don't all
I
have to.
chose to take that step.
But yeah, so he's awesome. So that was great. I think that's pretty much what I have to say. I will probably interrupt you guys and say more, but we'll see what happens. So who's go next? Yeah.
Well, I have to go next because I can't go last.
Yes, we know that. There's only 3 of us though.
Well, I gotta say, it's pretty close to beating Iron Man 3 for me. I mean, I thought it exceeded my expectations. Like, I really wasn't thinking much going in. Like, I liked the first Star Trek movie, but I wasn't, like, psyched to see Star Trek Into Darkness. And, you know, slowly as the movie progressed, I kind of saw more what the title meant, you know, like, we talked to Brandon about earlier, which is
Dark?
they got, well, the characters themselves got kind of dark. In a sense.
Things happened that took them to a dark place, is what I
Pretty much,
told
yeah.
Kit. So.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense to me. But, yeah, all the actors are fantastic. Benedict Cumberbatch was my favorite character from the movie. And
The actor. The favorite actor from the movie. Benedict Cumberbatch is
not in this movie
not a
theater.
character.
Not in this movie theater. But, no, he like, just like, there was a scene where,
He had
like,
very well, I liked his hair.
There was
I liked
this-
his hair a lot.
there-
He had great hair in this
He had
movie.
great hair.
Yeah,
he
he did.
typically does.
he did, yeah.
And he's always got these amazing collars.
I missed the blue scarf though.
You know, he
But
goes.
anyway.
Right? Did you fucking miss the time when he had like the first time they
Yeah.
showed him?
Oh,
he had,
yeah,
like,
yeah, it'd be that
he
color.
had, like the
Yeah.
exact. I'm
Yeah.
like, so in the future, collars are popped all the time.
And no spoiler, but at the end he like grabs that jacket for no other purpose than to have a jacket.
Yeah, no, it was like, so he's gotta have leather jacket, he's gotta have leather trench coats on with collars popped.
Yeah.
Even if he's on the run, he's gotta like knock over a pedestrian and go, collar popped.
That's a mighty fine coat you got there.
No, as soon as Spock
That's
arrives,
a-
all he has to do is look for the popped collar. That's it. Like, bam, there he is. Oh.
Bitch, I see you. That collar's popped way over your
Alright, so you were
hairline.
saying
Anyway.
Yeah, he kicked all sorts of ass in this movie. I really like to see that sort of action from him. Like, it's just kind of surprising, but
Few people know
entertaining.
Sherlock Holmes is trained in the Venus martial arts. I don't remember.
It was nice to see the, well, not really nice. It was like interesting that they kind of kept the progression of they kept the whole relationship between Spock and Uhura going. I really didn't give a shit, mind you, but I thought it was kind of interesting that they
well, it
kind
is a sequel. Were they supposed to forget everything that happened in the first movie and just go, eh, never mind, who
there have been
cares?
some movies where
That's
that
called
happens.
Highlander 2.
Well, sometimes it's.
Oh! Yeah. Ooh. Ooh.
I like
let's see
Spock's
that right.
character. I almost thought that he was kicked out of the movie.
What?
Yeah, for a split bit, I thought like he wasn't in the movie anymore. Like, you know.
Oh, I know what you're talking
Is
about.
that Ray Quinto? You thought he was out of the movie?
No.
Scott.
Oh, Scott.
I, say
I thought you said
Scott.
Spock.
You said Spock.
Scott.
Yeah,
I
we
said
both heard
Scott.
Spock.
Scott. I thought Mr. Scott got kicked out of the movie. I was like, oh, what?
That would have been.
So then you saw him in the bar. I was like, oh, well, he's just doing what Scotsman does. Great Scotch.
Well, space scotch.
With an alien.
There's a lot of action, a lot of explosions,
Yeah.
a lot of advanced technology. I liked how they took a lot of this. They took a lot of elements from past Star Treks, you know, the original series, movies, and show, and they kind of turned them a bit. Not to spoil anything yet. We'll get to the spoilers when I'm talking about it.
Right.
You seem confused.
We'll discuss it. So
But there's things I want to say, but I can't really say. But yeah, just really solid story, great action. It was funny at times, and it all in all seems pretty epic. This is probably my favorite movie of the year so far, or
you
just
said it's
right
close.
there behind Iron Man. So great sci-fi movie. Well, the best sci-fi movie of the year so far. Of the summer and
That
the
is
year.
like
One of two.
But yeah, and which is kind of funny to me.
Okay.
There's only been 2 sci-fi movies, or that
Well, because like Star Trek, not so much of an original idea. Here they took Oblivion. They kind of just really took ideas from everywhere.
I don't.
I don't know what you're saying
Are you
either.
saying Oblivion was
Neither one
original?
of them were original. That's what it sounded like you were saying.
Some Oblivion was less original, even though it had a different title than Star
Even though it wasn't a sequel?
Never mind. Fuck it.
Okay.
I get it. I almost understand him. So I guess that brings it over.
You want to leave it to Josh now, and then we'll do an overall discussion.
I don't think it's a secret to anyone here or that's been listening since the beginning, maybe even the middle. Actually, if you picked it up at any time, you probably recognize that Star Trek. This has been the movie that has probably been my most anticipated movie of the year. I think it's been the one I've been looking forward for the most. It's the only one that I can actually remember that it was coming out this month. It's the only one that, it's the only movie this year that I knew was going to be out that I wanted to see, and I knew it was coming out in May. And every other movie, I'm like, I didn't really. Iron Man was a movie that I wanted to see, but I didn't really care because I wasn't really expecting a whole lot because, it was the third sequel going and I mentioned that the last podcast. I was kind of worried going in. This movie, since seeing the first Star Trek, I've been excited for the entire time, and I think that's why it was really just kind of disappointing to me. Dun dun dun! Yes, as the ultimate Star Trek fan here at the table, I was a little disappointed by the movie. As
I'm not as shocked as I let on, just to let you know.
I don't think you were.
I'm kind of surprised.
And here's the thing: it's not a bad movie.
I've heard things.
It's not a bad movie, and I didn't know anything other than the trailers, which a lot of it was J.J. Abrams chicanery, sort of shows you one thing in the trailer, and eventually it's you go in with this expectations because a lot of movies put. A lot of the bad movies put their whole dick on the table in the trailer.
Yeah.
And then J.J. Abrams likes to show you stuff, and then when you go to the movie, totally not what you were expecting.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of out of context footage,
Mm-hmm.
and he did that. And so there was a lot of stuff that did some little twists, little surprises here, but it also kind of worked against him in this instance because from the beginning he kept saying this wasn't going to be his Wrath of Khan, and I guess from it wasn't story-wise. This wasn't. It wasn't the Wrath of Khan. Not that's an entirely different style movie.
Okay. I've never seen Wrath of Khan.
You've never seen Wrath of Khan?
List of
we
Shame?
went over to the car.
List of Shame.
He saw the first movie.
I can discuss why.
Star Trek: The Motion Picture, and he got afraid.
I can see why you wouldn't want to watch
it.
Yeah. Wrath of Khan is an amazing movie.
And that's what I've heard, and I will watch it. Okay.
You've seen Nemesis.
I'll probably watch it.
And Nemesis ripped off Wrath of Khan.
I haven't seen Nemesis.
So think about Nemesis and think about this Star Trek movie. Obviously, two different kind of stories, two different things at all. So it wasn't that, but he borrowed so heavily from, not even the Wrath of Khan, but from a lot of Star Trek
series, yeah.
And I was expecting from J.J. Abrams, who kept saying it's gonna be different. I was expecting a completely original, sort of just whole new Star Trek adventure that he was just gonna go off on, and he just kind of leaned back on so many other Star Trek things.
Really?
I felt that he leaned too heavily on the original series and stuff established already. That it just kind of was maybe, and like I said, it's my most anticipated movie, which why maybe it was a good movie, great movie, a really good story, performances. I really liked it. I left the theater going, well, I saw it, and then on my way home, I was just sitting there trying to think the entire time, what about it? I'm not that enthusiastic.
You're trying to figure out why.
I was trying, and I couldn't put a finger on it, and I'm just sitting there and all I got was I think he just didn't do anything that original with it. He leaned a little bit too heavily. He took some things on a different angle, but I think it wasn't just. I was expecting something else.
You were going in to see more of the new awesome Star Trek stuff.
Yeah.
And you just saw more of the same.
Well, not even more of the same. I just saw. I got it. It's what this movie was basically, you see the magician saw the woman in half.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then J.J. Abrams that dude saw that woman in half, check it out. And he gets a box, he bedazzles the box, and he puts a guy in it and saws the guy in half and goes, ta-da! It's the exact same trick. He just kind of shined it up and kind of did it differently, but there were a lot of elements going in this, and we'll get into that on spoilers, I suppose, but there are a lot of stuff coming up where I was just that's how this ends. That's how this ends. And that kind of, I was expecting a more original story, and I got a lot of, not exactly just rehashes, but a lot of the same thing, but a little bit of different, but at the end, it was the same result, and it kind of disappointed me a little that that's how it was going.
So you prefer Iron Man 3? I mean, we've got, it's not fair to compare them, I know.
Well, no, I'm not going to compare them. But like I said, Iron Man 3, I went in with really low expectations, and it impressed the fuck out of me, and I left the theater going, wow, that actually was a really good movie. This movie was a really good movie. probably as good as Iron Man 3, but I didn't feel it was because
You
my
went with
expectations were so high after, because I love the original. Ugh. The last one, the last Star Trek movie, I was a huge fan of. I've seen it dozens of times at this point. Like when it was on Netflix, it was like my go-to. I'm watching a movie on Netflix. I watched Star Trek like 6 or 8 times. Like I liked it that much. This one, I liked it, but it wasn't blowing my mind. And I think a lot of that had to do with like some of the characters were just kind of, they were there. I really don't think, and I wrote her name down, Zoe
Saldana.
Is that a D? Saldana.
I
scribbled
about that.
I thought it was Sylvana, like the doctor. I'll be honest. Anyway, I don't think she's like, she kind of got tacked in as the third main character, and I don't think she's a strong enough performer for that, or that her role was written strong enough to support it. Because it was really like in the first movie, it was okay as a supporting character to be like the tough career woman.
There was like a triangle scene. I thought she was good in.
That was okay. That was
not
cool.
spoil anything.
No, that was a cool scene, but she kind of got shoehorned into a lot of the scenes. It felt to me, or with dialogue.
I can kind of get.
They overused her, especially like Uhura in the original series.
Not a main character.
She answered phones. Let's be honest.
She's not a main character.
Like not to demean the character because she is a cool character in the movies. They explored her and stuff like that, but. Like the Uhura in the first movie was like the tough, like career woman who wasn't interested in Kirk, and she played that role, and it was interesting up until the end. I thought.
I think.
Well, up until the end when they're like, oh, she's in a relationship with Spock.
Yeah.
That kind of cheapened it a little bit, and then they kind of explore it more in this movie, which I thought was a weak premise to begin with. So now they're kind of here's Spock and Uhura, but I don't think the third wheel should be McCoy. It's always McCoy. Let's be honest.
True.
In the series,
I don't think they spent too much time on the Spock.
There was not enough Carl Urban.
That may be true.
Like I'm just thinking of the past movies, like the.
Well, no, in the past movies.
I think I think that after they gave her a lot to do in the first one, once she's there and a part of it, there isn't as much for her to do, and I think that's what you're saying.
She didn't have a lot to do, and they just kind of put her in it because she.
Because they wanted to, because they were like, oh, you know.
And
Avatar made a lot of money. So,
traditional, the Star Trek thing in the series, it was Kirk, Spock, and McCoy.
Yeah.
Which may be only over in the 60s. It's white men doing stuff.
Yeah.
And I could get that. But even in the movies, it was Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. They're like the three guys, and they have they're a great chemistry. In the movies, they always had this great like chemistry together. Like the characters always fed off threw off of each other.
Yeah,
this one was kind
of
it was Kirk, Spock, and Uhura, which doesn't have the exact same chemistry. It was kind of weird, other than that one scene, which was pretty clever, and I liked it. But I mean, it just, the three of them, I don't think she really needed that big of a role that they gave her. Which is just, again, like, maybe it's more nitpicky.
Yeah.
It's more nitpicky, but I really like her.
They went over how...
I really like his partake of McCoy.
So, are you still saying Iron Man 3 is still your favorite movie?
I still like Iron... Well, see, that's the problem. Like, Iron Man 3 impressed the hell out of me, and it's a really good movie. This is a really good movie, but it's not the movie that I thought it was going to be. So if I had to, like King Solomon it, I'd just let you cut the baby in half, and I would be like, all right, fine.
Okay, I definitely think this is better than Iron Man 3. And part of that reason is, this doesn't really have to do with this movie, but since we saw and reviewed Iron Man 3, which was like 2 weeks ago, I've kind of come down a little on Iron Man 3. Still think it's a great movie. Mm-hmm. Still think it's a fantastic, fun, Marvel continuation movie thing, whatever. Still really like it. However, a lot of things I've thought about and have been brought to my attention and stuff that kind of...
You read the internet, don't you?
Yeah,
I do. Well, I don't know about read the internet.
That's full of hate-filled people.
No, because I don't think I've seen or read or anything of any Iron Man 3 review that says this movie sucks. I've just heard some critiques that I kind of was like, that was what I was trying to think of and couldn't think of it, or that's what I felt. And I wasn't sure how to think about it.
I think I could find some stuff if I watched stuff about Star Trek that way.
Yeah, and who knows, 2 weeks from now, maybe I'll be down a little more on this movie too. I mean, it's a lot of, as soon as you get done watching a movie, sometimes you're a little too pumped up, or, over time your opinion can change.
Pumped up or sort of let down by
it. Yeah, maybe you start thinking it's not as bad, but that kind of stuff happens.
Like, I need to see it again just to be sure, that kind of deal.
What did you guys think about the other new people other than Benedict Cumberbatch? Like Alice Eve, Peter Weller, do you think their parts were well done?
Alice Eve is important to the lore, her character.
Okay, see that? I don't have any connection to knowing her character or anything. None of that. I mean, I know who she was in the movie, but
That's the broad who eventually bangs Kirk and has their son.
Okay. Didn't expect
yeah,
that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's who at this point, because it's the Khan series. No, he's already a man at this point.
So she's not
But-
out of his league.
Right.
Oh,
no one likes that reference.
I make the worst jokes on the show.
No, but since it's the younger crew, I mean, at this point,
Kidnapped
by Wrath of Khan,
movement.
by Wrath of Khan, he's already banged that chick and has like a 20-year-old from her.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so it's a little different, obviously. Obviously, we're not getting the search for Spock.
When you rewatch the series, Christopher Lloyd's in it.
Christopher Lloyd is
As
sweet.
a Cleon.
Okay, what about Peter Weller though? RoboCop.
RoboCop?
Do we think he was good?
Yeah,
Like,
he did. Really,
he's
it was nice to
aged
see
terribly.
Peter. Well,
I don't think so.
Terrible.
I thought he looked worse when he
Here's
was
the thing, I
Okay,
always
okay.
imagine him as a fucking robot, so for him to age at all is terrible.
Okay,
by
okay.
well,
comparison.
imagine as
Okay,
a robot,
okay.
he's missing part of his head.
When he guest starred on Fringe, I thought he looked older than he did here.
Yeah, he did.
Right?
Yeah, that
And
one.
someone who also watched
Makeup.
So,
It's called makeup. He's made to look old.
but I thought he was good. Like I thought
No, it was-
his role was much more significant than I thought it was going to be. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, no,
I thought he had the small
Well, he's
role
a
and it made sense, and then
acclaimed
he has
actor.
more-
yeah.
he's an
Yeah,
acclaimed
like-
actor, and
He knows what he's doing.
He
He had
did
more
well.
to do than I thought. So yeah, is there anything else anyone wants to bring up before
Were
we
those-
move into spoilers?
Were those the only two new characters they introduced besides
That's
Benedict
why
Cumberbatch?
Cumberbatch.
Alice Eve's character, which Josh already
What's
touched.
We just said those two characters in
I
Cumberbatch.
would touch her. No.
I think that was pretty much it. There wasn't a lot of new characters,
No.
which is fine because it's a big
they already have
crew
enough.
already. You know.
They already have enough,
So-
and screen time is stretched enough as is.
Hopefully we get more new characters and less old characters in Star Wars. But that's just my 2 cents. I just don't want to. I just don't want to see like
78-year-old Han Solo.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to.
He didn't shoot first because he couldn't. His arthritis wouldn't let him.
I don't want to see that for 2 hours. So, anyways, and that's not anything to do with I'm against old people. I'm just saying, you know.
It's alright, it's alright.
We've seen their story. Is what I'm
God,
saying.
do you want to
We're
really
not
see
talking
like a 10-minute scene of Princess Leia having a hot flash? Imagine that.
Yes.
All right, this is going to the
It's
wrong
everything I
place.
ever wanted.
So let's get into spoilers now.
Alright.
So if you have not seen the movie, you may want to pause it now and come back, or don't come back and just assume that was our review.
In which case,
right?
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Come back at insert time here.
Well,
And then,
in the audio thing, I'll say when the next segment
I like
starts.
the idea. I
Insert
like the
time
idea of you
here.
IOW.
well, we
So,
can-
anyways, let's get into spoilers now that we've embarrassed ourselves for the last
Alright.
like 2 minutes. So, spoilers. I hope you're gone because now we're just gonna say it. Benedict Cumberbatch was.
You know they had to have someone yell that. instead of that.
So after before
You
this
did a pretty
movie,
good job too
before this movie was ever made,
of yelling it.
but let's set this up now.
No.
Before this movie was ever filmed, before it was just announced, and before
Yes,
it was
which I
announced
said
that
before.
Benedict Cumberbatch was going to be in this movie,
What did he say?
everyone said he's going to be Khan.
And what did J.J. Abrams say?
No, he is not going to be
And
Khan.
what happened in the movie?
He was Khan.
Khan! I was so pissed.
I'm going to say, so obviously you're mad about this revelation?
I can't say I was that mad. I mean, at first, when he was like, talking about like, when he had him in prison, he's like, let's just assume name. I went, oh no.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
the
no.
moment when I was like,
no,
oh.
don't do it. Because I'm like, J.J. Abrams told me this wasn't happening. He told me he was doing a new movie. He told me this wasn't
He's
happening.
lying to me.
And he's like, my name was Khan. I'm like, you motherfucker. And then the next
Yeah.
thought I had was Chris Pine going, Khan! I'm like,
Yeah,
God,
no.
I can't do that. That's terrible.
On the way here, Kit said it also. When he gives the beginning of that speech and he's like, we were an advanced life form or whatever, all of a sudden it's just coming up in everyone's mind of, oh crap, he's Khan, isn't he?
Yeah, it's Khan. Advanced life form, superior being. Yeah, it's Khan.
Well, no, he was a genetically already. That was the Khan character
Yeah.
from the trailer. Everything
There was a lot that hinted at that. People didn't just pull
Well,
this
no.
out of their asses and
No,
were
I
like,
know.
oh, he's gonna be Khan. No, there was a lot of stuff. Down to the fact that in like that first trailer that came out, he's wearing that like rippled collar coat
Yes.
thing, and then they put right
Yes.
next to it a picture of
Yes.
Khan wearing almost the exact same jacket.
Brandon,
It's-
I'm there. I was one of those people. I followed them all the way. And when he told me it wasn't Khan, I was one of those idiots that believed him.
I believed him.
Well, but no, I know all this stuff. I saw that. I like genetically injured. He's got the collar, and I'm like, that's Khan. That's the Khan character. What is he doing? He's like, I guarantee this isn't Khan. I went, all right, I believe you, J.J. Abrams. Now everything he tells me, I'm just gonna like hire an assassin to kill him.
Well, okay, but
I
see,
was I'm not that broken up about it as you are.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with this reflection.
Oh, and you know, it wasn't that bad.
To give an alias of an actual character from the series to the actual
Yeah, I
movie,
actually
you think,
thought-
oh no, it's this
And you know,
guy
no,
who did this.
it was fine. And you know, I was
Yeah.
like, all right, fine, it's Khan. I lived with it. Like at that point, I'm like, you know, it's been a cool ride so far. I'm fine with it. Then they went to talk to Leonard Nimoy, and he was like,
I liked that again.
I was like, hey, did you ever meet Khan before? And he's like, well, I can't tell you that, but I'm gonna tell you about it. And I'm like,
No, I think you mistook all of these things. Okay.
Look at all that crap.
no, I took J.J. Abrams for his word, and it was more J.J. Abrams chicanery.
I think we stumbled upon the disappointment. But anyways,
He showed us, he was like,
I
look
thought
over here,
all of
look
this-
over here, and then he was like fingering my butthole with these hands.
I thought all of this was done very well. Okay.
That's the fun, like, no, I'm saying, it was
Right.
done very well, but he
No,
lied to me, and
I
I
don't
feel
even-
cheated.
I don't
It's
even
a
have
shock.
a
It's
problem.
just a shock, okay? Just
I don't
right
even
out.
have a problem of him lying to me.
I do.
Because I've said this before, you talked about trailers showing everything and telling you the whole story, right?
But he never does. That's his
Exactly.
trick.
And so
he sneaks in some fingers.
yeah.
He had to figure out a way to bring Khan in, but he knew everyone was going to assume it was
Everyone's
Khan
gonna assume it
right away.
That's
So
right.
he was going to have to lie and say that it's not Khan.
But
So you didn't go into it going, he's going to be Khan. It was
Mainly because he lied to me.
he lied to us for our benefit though, so that we didn't see everything coming, so that we didn't go into
I don't like
it
being
going,
lied to,
oh,
Brandon. Or Brandon.
yeah,
You'd say
Brandon.
okay. So and the Leonard Nimoy thing, him coming back, I thought was clever and cool. Like, and the fact that and you're complaining about I'm not going to tell you and then I'm going to tell you. I didn't see it as that. I thought it was him. He was reiterating to him that I told you I would not tell you anything that I knew about your future because I didn't want to change it at all. And then he says, when he asks him again, did you ever, but this one guy, did you ever, run into this guy? And then he realizes, okay, well, I don't want him to like get fucked, and killed because I didn't tell him this. And so
But
he breaks down and tells
he
him.
does get killed because
And he doesn't tell him on camera. He tells him off camera.
It's off camera, but all
he
I'm
just
saying-
tells him he's like the biggest threat we've ever had, and then they cut
you
away.
know what he tells me. He goes, yeah, we did stop him. I died doing it.
Yeah, no,
Spoiler alert! I got killed doing this
Which
shit.
again,
And they even it was the same.
another clever thing though is that
No,
they
that wasn't clever
switched
at all.
him and Kurt.
That wasn't clever
No,
at all.
but it
They
was
just
clever.
switched them,
That
which is that was my
not so
problem.
much clever.
Which I said before. I was like, you do. It was the saw the lady
Yeah.
in half. But in the first
They
movie,
even
they
said
saw
this-
the lady in half. Now they just put a guy in the box and saw the guy in the
They
box.
didn't even say the
Oh,
same
yeah,
thing.
none of
They
the
didn't even
same
say the same
thing.
thing. When he went up to him to the glass,
To the
he was
glass,
like,
to the everything,
he was like,
outside of the
ship.
mind held.
He was like, you protected the ship.
There were
Same thing
lies.
has happened. Like Spock goes like ship, like
Yes.
ship, is, like ship safe. He was like ship is safe. You saved the ship. You saved everyone. Same little speech thing.
It was just a role reversal
Okay,
thing,
so-
which I
so-
didn't think was clever at all.
so
I
in
thought
other
it was
words-
just another thing.
Except
They went
McCoy
back-
wasn't there into the hole.
Yeah.
So in other words, we have discovered why I like this movie a lot more than you guys because I have not seen The Wrath of God.
That could be. Yeah.
Right?
But and again,
That's
this,
what I'm getting from this.
and that's the problem is this movie had no Wrath of Khan qualities whatsoever, but it took
Like
a
a
lot of.
lot
Well,
of-
Ricardo Montalban's dead, dude.
Well, no, but Wrath,
Whoa.
Wrath of Khan.
Shit.
Jesus Christ, he's been dead for like.
Yeah, years, man.
Anyway, Wrath of Khan is like the Hunt for Red October in space.
I
That,
haven't seen the Hunt
or
for
maybe,
Red
or maybe,
October.
Jesus,
I have no.
what you watch? You watch shit fucking movies all the fuck time.
What
man.
shit fucking movies?
But I've seen Hunt for Red October like 3 or 4 times.
Well, you haven't seen like
Something awesome.
I was hoping you'd say the actual something else.
Yeah.
That.
I haven't seen Inception yet.
I'm gonna,
Alright, there you
I'm gonna insert.
Oh, there you go.
I haven't seen Inception yet.
Yeah, you haven't seen Inception. Inception's top
And I-
5 movies.
Something I did like though was that the last movie's time or rippling effect is still affecting everything. Like the whole reason
Yeah.
they found Khan.
Everything's
like
happening
because let's look out more in space just to see if we can find something to protect ourselves because of
And this one did someone else.
That's right.
did.
And then
Yeah.
they came across Khan because Kirk.
Which
was
is
the
why
one-
this episode
He came across that.
I
This
saw
episode.
I saw this
Yeah.
movie as more like half Space Seed, which is the episode Khan appears in, half Khan. It wasn't like both of them. And we don't have a Genesis project yet, which is going to get even weirder.
Yeah.
So I don't know what there's got to be a third
Well, that's a
movie.
long way off.
There has to be a third movie, and
Yeah.
there has to be at least one movie where Benedict Cumberbatch comes back, and it's a full-blown Wrath of Khan.
Well, he doesn't die. I mean, they show us that he's frozen
Yeah,
again.
and that's exactly like when they showed him frozen. I'm like, all right, don't bring him back in the next movie. Maybe don't bring him back in the second.
A while.
Give it 3 movies if you're gonna go that far.
Yeah,
and
don't Siler it.
Don't Siler it. And they have the potential. They have the actor.
I think a lot of that somehow comes down to J.J. Abrams.
And it is J.J. Abrams.
Like,
If he
comes
comes back for the third one, which, let's be honest, probably isn't going to happen.
You don't think there's gonna be a third Star Trek?
No, I think there will be a third Star Trek
You
movie.
just don't think so.
I don't think J.J. Abrams is going to do
There's
it.
gonna be a third Star Trek movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
Exactly.
You know what? I probably.
But that's where your worry comes in, is because I think J.J. won't bring back
He won't.
right away.
He'd milk it.
He won't bring Khan back right away.
But if it depends
someone
on-
else that's
It
ill-equipped
would
for the job gets worried and goes,
It would depend on the
I
director.
think I need to just bring back Khan.
Exactly.
You know,
Like if you get some director who's like nervous or some shit, it'd be like, well, I know what I can leave on.
or the studio
Well, like the studio.
forces a
So like they
director
forced Venom on
Sam Raimi.
Sam Raimi, yeah.
And you know what? I can totally see that happen. And here's something I probably should have mentioned in the non-spoiler version. I am not a fan of 3D lens flare. That was like
When she was
annoying.
talking to her father and it was really dramatic and everything like that through the.
The three-
It was weird.
I was real cut off
That
by
was
all the
the
lens
one-
flare.
lens flare's a little. The lens
That
flare
was the
first
one.
movie,
That was the one that got me too. That lens.
It was a
flare
little weird. It's always kind of a little weird to begin with. Like I got used to it because
I
it's all
kind
like
of ignored
space
it.
and
Like
shit.
I
Well, no, I tried to
didn't
ignore it,
think
but
of
now
it
it's
except
like
for that scene.
it's always like coming at me now, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Well, when Khan arrived, it was like shooting the whole council with the admirals and everything like that. And you just saw that red light, and I was like, oh fuck, another lens flare. And I was like, oh, that's probably what they thought when they saw a ship just like.
Yeah,
pass
they
by
didn't
the
even.
window.
They're like, this. I'm not a cameraman. I don't know. What's
It was
going
like-
on. Oh shit! Oh shit!
I was like, what's that to my left? Oh, it's probably a lens flare. Fucking J.J. Abrams.
I know what you guys are saying, but I really don't.
Anyway,
I think
no, I
the
just
lens
thought
flare thing is overplayed. It's
the
not
lens
that
flare.
big.
It's over. Yeah, it's
No,
overplayed.
hold on,
It's
no.
not-
It's
not
not
that big of a
terrible.
deal.
It's not terrible in the movie itself, but the 3D effect with lens flare.
I know what you're saying.
Bugged
It was
the hell
kind of
out.
weird.
It was-
Like the
it was
first time you
bugging.
see one and it's in 3D, you're like,
It
weird.
bugged me.
I'm
Like
just not a fan of lens flare.
and the 3D that we saw was,
Okay.
I don't know if it was different, maybe my glasses were messed up, but it was a little bit,
well, we did go to a different theater,
and it was a little bit,
so
Yeah,
3D was
my
a
eyes
little
had
bit
to
weird
adjust
for
a
me.
bit.
well no, it was like my eyes had to adjust, and then when things actually came at me, usually when things come at me in 3D, I don't give a shit, but this 3D, I was actually like,
you kind of
yeah, like this one,
I thought it was good 3D, except for there were some ghosting issues sometimes.
there were,
Other than
I had
that,
some ghosting issues,
other than that.
but it's the first time I've gone to a 3D movie where I actually went, oh shit, something's coming at me, and went,
Really?
brain,
Now,
hold
did
on.
you see Avatar?
Not in the theaters.
It's not that anything was coming after you, but that was
But I did have sex while watching it.
that was the first like amazing 3D.
Just wanted to throw that
But
out
Captain
there.
America was like the first movie I distinctly remember like flinching, like something's gonna hit
And
me.
then she
And
fell
it's
asleep.
the shield. But anyway.
That's a long movie. She fell asleep on it.
You know, I actually like to think that the reason they let Kirk off the hook was because he saved an endangered species.
Which was a complete. And I'm glad that came up because when Spock was like, it's a violation of the Prime Directive, I'm like, actually stopping the volcano was a violation.
Yeah, that
of
was
the
a
Prime
something.
Directive.
Yeah.
And then when they got back to Earth and they're like, hey, you shouldn't have done that either, I went, oh, thank God, this isn't just J.J. Abrams. fucking it up again. Everybody knew they were doing something wrong. Whew. Because, yeah, no, stopping that volcano was.
Anyways.
I knew you obviously put in a goddamn report too.
Alright, so is there anything else? Anyone
Spoiler-rific?
Spoiler or not, I guess.
There's a tribble.
And I was kind of wondering what those weird
That
nurse
was
robots
clever,
were in the
like-
background, but that were never explained. Those
It was weird. There were a bunch of weird characters that were never
and
explained.
that weird robot guy. I don't know
I
if that
think
was
they
like.
were in radiation suits.
Yeah,
and
just,
there was
a lot
that
of-
one chick on the bridge too that was like alien and shit. There was like
Yeah.
a bunch of
And there was
characters
that
that would
hot
just
blonde
pop
chick.
up. There was just characters that would just pop
The
up.
hot blonde chick with the white blonde, platinum blonde. She was hot.
Okay. But yeah, there was a lot of explained extras.
There was a lot of weird shit going on, but you know, ultimately again, and you can come back from the spoiler tags right about.
Turns out the blood can save anything.
So
Well, I think we're done talking about the movie, aren't we?
no, it was a really great movie, and I recommend it.
Oh, we're gonna do that? Okay.
I don't know. Did you want to? I'd recommend it.
I think we clarified.
Sure, if
what
you're a
we thought.
sci-fi fan, watch it.
No, just go see it. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I think it's
Well,
an
some
extremely
people are
fun.
crazy and don't like things like.
If you don't like fun, skip this movie.
better.
Yeah, it's
Better.
extreme. It's a fun, special effect filled summer blockbuster. It has action, comedy. You know,
It's a summer blockbuster movie.
it's great.